Hey, this is Tommy from the server Benediction. I'm doing this little guide to show you guys how to do sub 6 minute stockades runs and make a lot of gold as a hybrid holy paladin. I'll start off by showing you guys my build. I'm 30 points in the holy, pretty standard. I'll reply to him later. Um, you can raid with this spec pretty comfortably. Um, Then we go over to protection. The key things here, shield specialization. Um, that's for more just tanking the parts of Blackwing Lair that I tank. But other than that, rebout and shield specialization is all I'd say you absolutely need. But Blessing of Sanctuary actually saves you a lot of damage. Max rank, it saves you 24 damage per hit. That adds up and reflects a lot of damage. As for gear, I always use Judgment Crown. You really can't beat it as far as AoE farming and such. I use Orb of the Dark Moon for the spell damage, opposed to some of the other options, because spell damage scales with this set so well. Judgment Shoulders, you really can't beat those. Saffron Drape, I use this solely for the high stats and the spell power. It's a toss-up between that and Elementium Threaded Cloak, honestly. But you can get away with something like Overlord's Embrace. Demon Forge Breastplate is a key part of this build. It heals you for thousands over the course of this run. And it scales 40% with spell power per proc. And that absorption on it adds up too. Judgment Bracers. Lockamir's a go-to as well, just the high spell damage and stats. You can't beat it. You could get away with using like a Hand of Edward the Odd or a Flurry Axe, or, I mean, really any weapon, but high spell power is what makes this build work. I don't actually use Force Reactive Disc until the very end. To kill the mobs, I use Skullflame Shield, because that Lifesteal proc, the 3%, actually scales 1-to-1 with spell power. It heals for like 350 when it procs, and it procs often in these scenarios. Death Grips, they're not an absolute must, but I really like them because getting disarmed, lose a lot of stats. Judgment Belt, you can't beat that. Judgment Legs, there's really the only option there. It has everything you need for this. Judgment Boots, there's really no other option. The rings, there is a little bit more to it. I personally like the reflect damage and the defense this gives, but you could use something with a little more stats on it, like one of these. Overlord Onyx Band, this is my favorite ring right now for tanking in the game for paladins. The block chance, the dodge, the stamina. You really can't beat it because of how strong block value is with Force Reactive Disc. Although you could throw another stat band at it. Uther Strength, severely underrated for this type of content. You know, when you're trying to get on for 30 minutes and make a quick 60 gold, this is one of these things you can do. You throw this on there, this will proc constantly. It will save you thousands and thousands of damage over this run. Stylene's Impeding Scarab. You can't beat the block chance, and the block value is the more important part. But combined, you get pretty good block value. 73, these things hit you for very, very little. And I'll give you guys an example. I'll show you right now. Give myself a little buff. And top myself off on mana real quick, and we'll hit it up. Alright, let's go. And what I'm doing is just trying to stay ahead of the mobs. You avoid a lot of damage like that, and I pick up the Swiftness Zanza from the ZG Island. It really helps you kind of stay ahead of stuff. But you see that Uther Strength constantly popping. You will get these debuffs that make you take 5 additional damage per swing. Dispel those. And you see how much I'm getting healed right now from the Demon Forge breastplate. It's actually insane. I always take the left turn instead of the right because the knockdown is a lot worse on the other side. That knockdown will get you killed. So I tank this wing first. And towards the end of it, I do normally bubble. Just to get all the debuffs off me and get it going. You can see just how much that's healing. It's insane. See all that healing? You really can't beat this build for this scenario. So I love it so much, that's why I thought I'd share it. And I'm not a professional video maker, this is just something I thought I'd share with people, hopefully it helps. So in this scenario, I will actually switch from this shield to Force Reactive Disc. Do a stun, and there we go. It's a little laggy. Try to keep the mobs in front of you because you block a lot. I'll wait for these guys to reset. I'm not going to loot it, this is just to show you guys, but you can normally get about 5 or 6 gold per run if you loot it all, and 3 gold per person per run. It really adds up. Give myself a chance to get up on mana. Yeah, you can hear my dog eating in the background. Sorry about that. Switch back to Skullflame for the pulls. Sometimes I forget. This wing I normally don't need to heal, so I just get through it. Alright, let's switch to Skullflame Shield. Or off Skullflame Shield. Had a little emergency heal there. It's all good. It happens. All those cracks from that armor. Just wait here until they come back. Here we are. Alright, so that's this run. It didn't take very long at all. Uther Strength saved us from 7.4k damage in that amount of time. That's an insane amount of damage. And then we go to see how much the healing went for. Drain Life healed for 16.8k. That Drain Life was off of, they're actually both the Demon Forge Breastplate and the Skull Flame Shield. 16.8k healed in that amount of time. That's how powerful these are with stacked spell power. It's absolutely obscene. I hope you guys like the build. I'll be doing more tank stuff later on, and maybe even some healing stuff. We'll see how it goes. Hope you guys like the video. I'll post more later on. I'll also script better. And good luck to everybody on getting the drops that you want. Have a good one.